I call this meeting of the Rotary Club of Oakland to order. I'm Dudley Thompson, and I have the honor to serve as president of the Rotary Club of Oakland. We are founded in 1908, and we're the third established Rotary Club of some 36,000 in over 200 countries around the world. We're a diverse community of some 300 local business, professional, and community leaders. We unite to improve our local and international communities through a common commitment of service above self. Excuse me for a moment, folks. Please, I need some quiet here. Thank you. For those attending for over 113 years, we've welcomed Rotarians and guests to our club meetings. And I welcome you to this, our 5,363rd meeting. For those of you attending online, if you're a visiting Rotarian or the guest of a Rotarian, please enter your name in the chat box, which is located in the center of the bottom of the screen, so that we may recognize you in a few minutes. So I can't stop those champagne bottles from popping back there. We recommend that you view today's meeting using the speaker view, which is located in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. If you have comments or want to ask a question of our speaker today, please use the chat box. For those of you who are here in the California Ballroom, I ask that you do not use an electronic device to watch the meeting on Zoom or to connect to the Ballroom Wi-Fi. Under current Alameda County guidelines and our club protocols, it is required that you wear a mask inside if you are not eating or drinking. We are trying to make this space as safe as possible for our members and guests while still having a great meeting. Okay, finally, I ask you to refrain from talking during the meeting. During the meeting, as the sound becomes background noise for our online broadcast. Allison Bliss, would you please come up here and offer us a thought for the day?
Thank you, Dudley. I have two small, short thoughts. This is from Winston Churchill. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. The second one is Muhammad Ali. Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Allison. Jack, could you please put up the Rotary Vision Statement? Will you please join me with the Rotary Vision Statement? Together
we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe in our communities
and in
ourselves.
Past President and past District Governor Ed Jellen, would you please introduce any visiting Rotarians today?
I am happy to do so, President Dudley. First of all, from the Rotary Club of Livermore Valley, we have a little Rotary royalty here. Her name is Jill Duerig, and she serves as Lieutenant Governor of the district, which means she's right up there at the top, working with the district governor on all district business. So please welcome Jill.
I just want to say hello, fellow Rotarians.
Yay! And then way in the back of the room, another Royal Rotarian, the charter president of the Delta Antioch Rotary Club. Please welcome Martha Goralka. Did I miss anybody visiting Rotarians? Thank you, President Dudley.
Martha's the one in the back popping those champagne bottles. Thank you, Martha, for joining us. I'm going to go to Sandeepa next and then come back to any other visiting Rotarians here. Sandeepa, do you have any online?
We have no visitors online.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so any visitors today to be introduced by members?
Wait. We have one. We have Pat Coyle, Livermore. Please to join us.
I'm sorry, the name was what?
Pat Coyle.
Pat, yes, and Pat is, help me with this, Jill, I should know it off the top of my head. Pat is area of service, is that? Our international service is our district international service chair. Thank you for joining us today, Pat. Okay, any visitors in the room? Wendy Howard.
Ongoing visitor who is waiting for his induction, Kevin Hunter, Vice President of Johnstone Supply.
We're going to get you in here and get you up here, Kevin, I promise. Otherwise, I'm going to lose you as a customer, so thank you. Okay, Leanne Alameda and Renea Webb, would you please take us off today? So this month is the Rotary Foundation campaign. This week and the next 2 weeks, we're going to have presentations about what your money does, and we're going to ask you to support the campaign. Leanne?
Thank you, President Dudley. Hello, everyone. I'm Leanne Alameda, and I'm a member of the Oakland Rotary Foundation Committee. And I'm excited to be kicking off our 2021 campaign to raise money for the amazing projects that our club does through the Rotary Foundation. But I actually want to do a little contest first. So you will get a lovely bottle of sparkling wine if you can answer this question, and this is open to anyone online too. And I'd like it to be newer members, maybe members that have been around for 3 to 5 years. Who can tell me the difference between the Rotary Foundation and the Oakland Rotary Endowment? Anyone? Anyone want to try that? What about online, Sandeep? Is there anyone online that knows it? No, not at Jellen. Not at Jellen, sorry. Sorry, newer members, not
No,
past.
online.
Anyone online want to say what they think the difference? Oh. Oh, wait,
right.
are you a guest? And you know.
Been a guest for a little bit. Endowment, I believe, was local, right? And then the international is all around. Is that right? Or, close?
Rotary Foundation is international.
Yeah, and then
And the Oakland
is
Rotary
local.
Endowment
Local,
is,
The
right?
local, yeah.
Local
Right.
programs. All
Great.
right.
Great, thank you.
Wow, that is very impressive for someone who hasn't even been inducted yet. Thank you. So if you can go ahead and bring up the presentation. Thank you. So your investment in the Rotary Foundation is turned into service projects that literally save lives around the globe. To start, I'd like to show a quick video that can tell you more about the Rotary Foundation.
Has never backed away from the hardest challenges because we're committed to a better, more equitable world. This year is no exception. Staying away from people and places we love in order to keep them safe. And despite the challenges, your generosity
hear the sound.
continued. Your donations provided more than $7 million to fund coronavirus relief projects in communities worldwide. And thanks to you, citizens of
Okay.
Kigali reward.
Well, no problem. I'll do my best to
Public library.
replace the
Women in rural Costa
video.
Rica are
So you're letting
emerging
it play through.
communities
Oh, okay.
social entrepreneurship. At-risk kids in Puerto Rico have an artistic outlet to heal their emotional traumas.
I didn't
Rotary
memorize
and
it.
its partners have reduced 99.9% of polio cases worldwide. Thanks to you, the Rotary Foundation raised $408 million last year. So together, we can keep doing good in the world. Donors who take action help create lasting change. Our work isn't possible without you.
Okay, no problem. All right, so a lot of people want to know, like, where does my money go when I donate to the Rotary Foundation? So Jack, if you could bring back up the presentation. Okay. So it goes to fund these Rotary International projects around promoting peace, supporting education, fighting disease, providing clean water and sanitation, protecting our environment, and more. The money we donate comes back to our club, and those funds are allocated by our Carl Stuckey World Service Committee to fund these projects. And in 20 plus years, our club has done 39 global grants in 22 countries and given over $1.6 million. So that's amazing. So here are just a few of the projects our Carl Stuckey World Service Committee has provided grants for through the Rotary Foundation. So Jack, if you can advance and click one more time. Great. So we're supporting virtual learning for children with disabilities in Colombia. So in collaboration with a foundation there, our club through the Rotary Foundation is ensuring that children with spina bifida, their families and teachers have what they need to continue learning during COVID-19. So in order for that to happen virtually, this project has purchased equipment like computers being loaned to the families and software to implement virtual learning. And it will also help train the teachers, children, and their parents or guardians to use the equipment. Next, thank you. We're also providing advanced surgical equipment in India. So through the Rotary Foundation, our club has donated endoscopic spine surgery equipment and funds to train physicians on its use in a hospital in India. The hospital is the only location where these types of procedures are done in the region, and it allows surgeons to perform the procedures without major incisions, making recovery time faster and having less discomfort and pain. It's also been shortening the hospital stays and costs for people who get the surgery. So they've already performed 10 surgeries with the patients being discharged in 12 hours. We're also, if you can click again, we're fostering sustainable farming in Guatemala. So this is a project that you're going to get to hear more about next week. This is something that we've been working on for several years and funding, but we're working with a nonprofit called Voices y Manos to help farmers improve soil quality, boost farming methods, and also develop drought-resistant crops, transitioning them from maize crops, which have not survived the impacts of climate change and extended droughts. So recently they've been doing hundreds of workshops to educate the farmers and helped plant, this project has helped plant over 70,000 drought-resistant coffee plants and fruit trees to create long-term economic opportunity for these families. And this will help reduce the need of families to migrate to the United States to escape extreme poverty due to ongoing crop failures. And then lastly, we're eliminating malaria in Colombia. Malaria is a deadly disease. In Buenaventura district in Colombia, they have the highest burden of malaria transmission in the entire country. The disease can impose great social and economic costs because sick parents can't work and feed their kids, and it impairs cognitive development for children under 5. So we're working to eliminate malaria in this region. Because of your generosity, this project will distribute and install long-lasting insecticide-treated nets. It will purchase and provide fumigation equipment. It will help manage pond removal, including a lot of abandoned mining pits in this area. It's going to help local health centers with equipment for supplies, including rapid testing kits. And it also provides educational programs for the families to empower them to take education to mitigate this deadly disease. just an amazing range of project that our club does through the Rotary Foundations. And then I have something really exciting to share, if you can go to the next slide, around our efforts to fight polio. So breaking news, the WHO and UNICEF, who partners with Rotary International on this project for polio, just announced that the Taliban has agreed to allow the polio vaccination program to restart in Afghanistan, and they are allowing women to continue to be the frontline workers and will be providing the security for these workers as they make their rounds. They have planned a 5-day nationwide campaign, which is aiming to reach 10 million children. And beginning in November 8th with another campaign planned in December in concert with this, that's planned to also vaccinate people in the Pakistani area and along the common border. So that is amazing news. So now I'd like to welcome Renia Webb to come up and tell us more about a project that we worked on.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. I'm thankful to be here today. It's been running around all morning, but thank you, President Dudley, for having me. Just honored to be here. I know I've shared this many times in the past, but I was thinking this morning, almost 6 years to the day, that was the first time I came to my Rotary meeting. David Stein, past President David Stein had invited me. We had worked together in community, paths kept crossing. And I was like, okay, great. I'll come to this Rotary. I kind of knew about Rotary, but not really. And so I'd never forget my very first meeting, Miss Karen Friedman, Peter, and I believe it was Michael Bruck, were all up here on the mic sharing about a trip that they had just taken to Colombia. And instantly I was like, you know what? I need to join this Rotary Club. Sures like myself, we all do so much in our community, kind of in our backyard, but there's so many needs outside of Oakland, outside of the United States. And so just hearing about their stories, their travels, I was like, okay, I'm going to join Rotary. And so literally my reason for joining Rotary was to get into world service, to really help take care of the world in a very heartful and thought-felt way. And so I joined the club. Immediately after my first, after I got inducted, Miss Karen Friedman came up to me. It's very sweet. And she was like, you know what? Do you want to join World Community Service? And I was like, actually, I do. That's the reason I'm joining this club. And so literally my first meeting, I was just so excited to hear about all the projects that were going on. I got involved in my first project fair, did a project over in El Salvador. In 2020, myself, along with John Gressley, Ms. Goodrin, and past President Sean Marks, traveled to Guatemala to go to a project fair. And before we went to the project fair, we actually, myself and someone else, went and stayed at Lake Atilan, which is in Guatemala, beautiful lake, Mayan community. I mean, literally, I woke up in the morning, women were in the lake, washing clothes, bathing. I was just like, I almost thought like I shouldn't be watching. But it was just part of their culture. And it was just so beautiful to be with the people. We literally just stayed there 3 nights, traveling around the lake, just really getting to know the community and the people. And when we went to the actual project fair in oh my gosh, I can't even think of the town I was in. Anyways, it was in Guatemala. We went to the project fair, and during the project fair, I happened to come across one of the booths, and they were from Lake Atilan. It was Hospitalito Atilan. I always mispronounce it. Had a great time talking with the president of that club. Her name is Miss Diana Garcia. We just started talking. I was like, I'm here to find a project to bring back to my club. We just talked, came about, and that's how this project came about. It's Hospital Atilan Mothers and Babies. Hospital Atilan is the only full-service hospital in the area that services 70,000 indigenous Mayan people. literally right now in the hospital, the women are getting prenatal screening from equipment that is about 15 to 20 years old. And so we instantly were like, okay, if we're not taking care of our babies, if we're not taking care of our mothers, our next generation won't even have a chance. And so literally we started talking, came up with this project to get ultrasound equipment, to replace the old equipment. And also not only that, to really shepherd a program around educating the moms, the pregnant women, which that slide is representative of the meetings that they get together, and to really talk about prenatal care, what health means, what eating the right things mean, which getting these screenings is not only good for yourself, but it's for the child that you're carrying. And so not only will this equipment be at their main hospital, this project will also purchase handheld screening equipment so they could go to these villages that are along the lake that they don't have access to get to the hospital. And so it's really serving the population at the whole, and then also a group of small groups that literally, it's like 13 villages around the lake. You have to catch a boat across the lake. Some little villages, they don't even allow cars there. So it's very kind of third world, but just in a very beautiful way. And so I know a lot of times we don't understand where our money goes. Sometimes we're just giving through these campaigns, just give. And we don't really realize that the impact that every dollar has. You know, a dollar to us is like triple, quadrupled in these countries, you know, very basic necessities that we just go to the hospital. Hey, I'm a mom of 4, you know, I go get my screening, I get my blood test, you know, all those things were just a given. We don't even think about it. And in these countries, these women don't have these medical treatments, then their kids are born with these, you know, issues or maybe things that if we had proper screening that they could have got caught. So I just want to thank you all for your continued support of the TRF campaign, just of Carl Stuckey World Community Service. And I would encourage you all to get involved too. There's so many countries in need, and there's so many people in need and communities in need besides just here in Oakland. So just thank you for taking the time to listen. And now I'll have Miss Leanne come back up. Thank you very much.
Okay, if you can bring up the next slide. So last year, past President Seth Butner made a challenge to encourage every Rotarian in our club to participate and donate to the Rotary Foundation. And we came very close with nearly 90% of the club donating, up to which was 157% increase from the years before. And we raised $165,754. So give yourselves a hand for that. So we are extremely excited to announce that we have another President's Challenge this year, and 6 generous Rotarians have stepped up to contribute a total of $50,000 if we can reach 100%. So we can't do this without you, and no donation is too small. Even the minimum of $25 makes a big difference. Every dollar you donate, again, comes back to our club to go towards these meaningful projects. And just 60 cents can protect a child from polio. $50 can provide clean water. So we are starting to get donations, if you can go to the next slide, but we have a long way to go. So I want to please call on you to commit to service above self and donate. You can do that online. Just make sure on Rotary International, just make sure that you log in first to your My Rotary account, or there's some pledge forms on the table. And if you'd like, you can fill those out today and give them to me or Joe Goralka or Jesse. If you're online, feel free to put your pledge in the chat and we'll follow up with you. But please, I'd love for you to donate. If you donate, here are the pledge forms on the table. And then when you donate, you get this nifty sticker on your badge to show that you have donated. So our club has shown great generosity and an ability to step up when it's most needed and deliver results that have a really positive impact in our world through your contributions and your service. So please do what you can and help us contribute to supporting these amazing projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne and Renea. A couple things. Everybody has been running out of here before I even get through my end of meeting announcements. I have to, I don't know, get a lasso up here, lock the doors or something. So there are two things I'd like to bring up before the end of the meeting when we try to close up. First of all is we published a hard cover or hard publication of the Rotary roster this year. The past several years, we've only published a few of them for necessity because you can really get all of the information online. But coming out of COVID, we decided we'd like to have everybody receive one of these rosters. So if you're in the room and haven't got one, please grab one before you leave today. We are going to mail them out to everybody who has not picked them up, but it does save us several bucks if you could pick one up here. The second thing is throughout November, about 3 weeks ago, we started to collect jackets, warm coats, scarves, and gloves in conjunction with WELO. And so this will be going on today in the next 2 weeks, and then we'll deliver those the 1st of December. So if you can bring in lightly used or new coats, scarves, or gloves, please do that and drop them off. There's a box or a bag in the back of the room. Thank you. Ed Jellen. Where is Ed? There you are. Ed, would you, we have a special speaker today, a special guest. Would you please introduce her for us?
President Dudley, Lieutenant Governor Jill, fellow Rotarians and guests, it is my honor and pleasure today to introduce Vicki Pullitz, who is the Rotary International Director for the 2021-2023 term. A proud member of the Rotary Club of Sparks, Nevada, Vicki served as club president in the 2004-2005 Rotary year, as governor for District 5190 in the 2013-2014 Rotary year, and as Rotary Public Image Coordinator in 2016 through 2019. Vicki's passion for leadership development has led to involvement in many aspects of education and development, including district trainer for District 5190, International Assembly training leader, Governor-elect Training Seminar GETS chair, and faculty and education chair for the Far West President-elect Training, PETS. The most impactful experiences in Rotary are those involving youth. Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, RYLA, co-creation of a leadership program for 12 to 13-year-olds, Rotary Youth Exchange, and introduction of experiential team building processes. I've been worried about saying that phrase all morning. I finally got it out.
You did a great job, Ed.
To a RYLA camp in Benin, Africa. Vicki and her husband Tim participated in a national immunization day in northern India in 2009. Given those two precious drops of to a 2-year-old child at a train station in Moradabad and other life-changing experiences of the National Immunization Day made polio eradication very personal to them both. Vicki graduated from the University of Utah with a marketing degree and Master of Business Administration, and went on to own a commercial electrical contracting firm, in Northern Nevada for 19 years before merging it into a publicly traded entity. Vicki and Tim live in Reno, Nevada, at the base of the Sierra Nevada mountains. Their blended family includes 7 adult children, 9 grandchildren, and 3 Rotary Youth Exchange daughters. Their interests include outdoor activities and general aviation. Vicki and pilot Tim are members of the International Fellowship of Flying Rotarians. They support our Rotary Foundation as major donors and members of the Paul Harris Society, Polio Plus Society, and the Bequest Society. Would you please give a very warm Oakland 3 welcome to International Director Vicki Pullitz.
Thank you so much, Ed. That was a very kind introduction. And I have a couple of shout outs. First of all, hello, Jill. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Welcome to Rotary and new member Kevin. I was hoping to see you inducted, but I hope to see that when we're done here. Welcome to Rotary. We're glad to have you. And then thank you to Leanne and Renia. What a fabulous start to a discussion about our Rotary Foundation. So give me one moment. I'm going to go ahead and bring up some slides. There we go. So again, hello Rotarians of Oakland number 3. What a treat to be with you today. I wish I was there with you in person enjoying that champagne that it looks like you're having such a great time, but glad to be with you. I'm here to share information about our foundation and some updates with you. And I'm also here to thank you for being part of Rotary and all that means. Thank you for sharing your time, your talents, your energy, your passions with your club, with your community, and with the world. And thank you as well for your generosity in fundraising, as well as for your commitment and engagement with projects that change lives through our Rotary Foundation. So on that note, let me share this report that Leanne was talking about that shows your generosity in fundraising with a per person giving last year of $607, a high level mark for your club made possible by your generosity and by the matching contributions of some of your members. So thank you so much. On the engagement side, 39 global grants over the last 20 years, in 22 countries around the world, investing $1.6 million into changing lives for the better. So on behalf of those individuals who you've helped, and especially on behalf of those that you will never meet, I just want to say thank you. The Rotarians of Oakland number 3 bring Rotary's vision statement to life, and it was great that you said that together at the beginning of the meeting. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Our Rotary Foundation is actually very unique in that it's powered by Rotarians. Our projects are created, funded, and delivered by members of Rotary. And Oakland number 3 exemplifies engagement with your members in determining what it is that you want to do, how you want to make an impact, and actively participating in all aspects of the projects that you lead to serve to change lives. Now, I know that you're going to be highlighting a number of projects over the next few weeks, including some of your recent projects like we heard about today, the medical surgery systems in India, or helping to improve income and food security in Guatemala, providing toilets, sinks, and waste management systems for public schools in El Salvador. Your club is active in all of our areas of focus, including basic education and literacy, providing books and school supplies for a school constructed on an old minefield in Cambodia, or eye tests for children in Colombia to help identify issues with reading and learning and helping solve those problems early. Water and sanitation and disease prevention by constructing soak pits to eliminate contaminated water in India. Or life-changing heart surgeries in El Salvador, including training cardiac surgeons in the latest techniques to make the project sustainable and most impactful. And to bring you up to date on some of the newer aspects of our Rotary Foundation, I'm going to introduce the 7th area of focus, supporting our environment. Now, this is not really new to Rotary, as we've had more than $18 million invested in environment-related projects over the last 5 years. Previously, these projects were part of either water and sanitation or economic development areas of focus. This new dedicated area of focus will give us more ways to engage our members and other participants. It will expand our reach to new people who want to be involved, and it will increase our impact with positive change in the world. So welcome to supporting our environment as our newest area of focus. Something else new, a new peace center in Kampala, Uganda, adding to our existing 6 peace centers around the world. And you may have also heard about a major gift. It was $15.5 million received from the Otto and Fran Walter Foundation to establish a new peace center in either the Middle East or North Africa. And they expect that to be operational and accepting Peace Fellows by 2026. So pretty ambitious schedule as well. The Peace Fellow program began in 2002, and it's trained more than 1,400 Peace Fellows who work in 115 countries around the world. Every year, the Rotary Foundation awards up to 50 fellowships for master's degrees and 80 for certificate programs. Something else new, and this is especially interesting with your focus on malaria as well, something called Programs of Scale was launched this past year. So this is a competitive grant process. The award is a $2 million award to support a project that's 3 to 5 years that aligns with one or more of our areas of focus. And most importantly, it provides measurable and sustainable impact. The first Program of Scale was awarded this past year to malaria-free Zambia with $2 million from our Rotary Foundation, $2 million from the Gates Foundation, and $2 million from World Vision. This particular project will reduce the incidence of malaria by 90% in 10 target districts in Zambia, adding 2,500 community health workers to fight what is the leading cause of death in Zambia. Programs of Scale supports long-term, high-impact projects led by Rotary members and clubs in an evidence-based approach. We're currently in the second round of submissions for the next Programs of Scale. And certainly no Rotary program would be complete without mentioning our #1 priority, and that's to eradicate polio from the face of the earth. It will be such a day we look forward to when the breaking news is that polio is gone from the world. My first day in India, I witnessed this man crawling on the ground where the cars were parked. He had flip-flops on his hands as he moved his thin body and useless legs through the dirt with just the strength of his arms. This was in 2009 when polio was raging in India. I'll never forget giving those 2 precious drops of oral polio vaccine to this little girl in a train station in Moradabad, where it was important to immunize the part of society who were on the move to find a place to sleep and food to eat on a daily basis. Witnessing the challenges in northern India, high birth rate, dense population, poor sanitation, and extreme poverty, I was sure the experts were right when they said that India would be the last place in the world to eradicate this terrible disease. But that was not the case. What we witnessed in India was complete commitment of everyone involved to the goal to remove India from the list of countries that was then known as PAIN, Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, and Nigeria, who were still home to the virus. Polio is a really important part of our history, of our legacy in Rotary, in not only eradicating a disease, but in the public health infrastructure that has been created in over 70 countries around the world. This is a public health infrastructure that helps with routine health checks and vaccinations, and even has been helping with COVID. We must keep that goal of polio eradication top of mind as we finish the job. The great news is that the number of wild polio cases in 2021 is 2, 1 in Pakistan and 1 in Afghanistan. And you heard from Leanne how we're continuing immunizations in Afghanistan, even with the change of governance. The total number of wild polio cases in 2020 was 140. So this is an incredible achievement to get down to 2, and we're on the cusp of success. It's a commitment that we have as Rotarians, and we are joined by great partners in the fight. Let's keep our eye on this target and let's finish this job. I did want to share some numbers with those of you who love numbers. So globally last year, Our Rotary Foundation exceeded the fundraising goal, even during a pandemic year, with $440 million raised. So the breakdown that you see shows you how funds flow into our Rotary Foundation. Today, we're focused on the annual fund. That's the engine that funds the majority of our grants. The annual fund is kind of like a bucket that we fill and then empty. And that's why your annual contributions, every Rotarian every year, is so important. Some of us are known as Paul Harris Fellows, which means that we make a commitment to contribute $1,000 or more every year to our Rotary Foundation. I do this easily because I use Rotary Direct, and so I automatically have $100 a month charged to my credit card. There's also opportunities to make direct contributions to ending polio, to specific grant projects, or to create a legacy either through contributions to our endowment fund or by naming the Rotary Foundation as a beneficiary in your estate. On the spending side, there were over 2,000 global grants approved last year and funded in the amount of around $130 million. And of this, the number I've seen is 46 million used in the fight against polio. There were also 55 disaster relief grants in the amount of 3.1 million. And then that $2 million program of scale for malaria-free Zambia that we were talking about. We can be very proud of our Rotary Foundation. This is the 13th consecutive year of achieving the highest Charity Navigator rating of 4 stars. Additionally, the Rotary Foundation has been named as the world's outstanding foundation by the Association of Fundraising Professionals. And CNBC named the Rotary Foundation as number 3 in the top 10 charities changing the world. Our Rotary Foundation is really about changing lives. And Oakland number 3 has a culture and a tradition of generosity and engagement in supporting our Rotary Foundation in all of our areas of focus, changing the lives of beneficiaries all around the world, and finding, like Renia's story showed me, that our lives are sometimes the ones that are changed the most through our Rotary Foundation. So again, thank you. So you saw that President Dudley has a challenge to encourage every Oakland 3 Rotarian to make a contribution to the Rotary Foundation by the end of December. And so Leanne did a fabulous job there. I think Dudley may want to say a little bit more about that later. But I want to thank you for your continued support of our Rotary Foundation. Truly a legacy of hope for people all around the world. Rotarians of Oakland number 3, thank you so much. You make dreams real. Again, it's such a pleasure to be with you today. And if we have time, I'd be happy to take some questions. Oops. Or Dudley, if you wanted to talk about that challenge. We can't hear you, Dudley.
Okay, got it, Jack?
You're back, you're back.
I was just saying, we're sending out a video in about a day that'll, I'm talking about that challenge. But yes, 6 Rotarians came up with $50,000 between them, and is challenging to back me up, but to challenge everybody in the club to make a contribution. So we look forward to that. We did, last year we increased from like 33% in people in the club to over 90%. We had a fabulous year. So.
Absolutely. So we should do a shout out to past President Sess. I think he's online, just giving him congratulations and congratulations for the great performance last year.
Please.
Thank you so much for an excellent presentation. I'm curious, what is the endowment balance in the Rotary International Foundation? And how is there a spending rate that's approved by the board of directors in terms of how those grants are made available? I know you're filling up the bucket and using that, but there's certainly some backup support from the balances that have been contributed over the years.
So the endowment, there is a goal of 2.025 billion by 2025. And we are just over $1 billion now and headed in the right direction. So that's encouragement for all of us to be thinking about how we might create a legacy, either through endowment gifts or through remembering the Rotary Foundation in our estates. We're headed in the right direction there. The goal is that that endowment lives forever, but it's able to put a substantial amount of money into our grants every year to allow us to do more. So with the annual fund, I'm sure you can get more information from your own club foundation chair. That money is held for 3 years to accrue interest, and then the money is spent 3 years later. One of the reasons that we get such a high rating from Charity Navigator is keeping the administrative costs of our Rotary Foundation as low as possible. I believe it's around 8% at this point in time.
Yeah. So as she explained, it's not, as our endowment, we have we spend 5% of the value of endowment, but with the World Fund and the fund is that they take 3 years. The money we give this year isn't spent out for another 3 years. The interest from that funds the basic administration, and then all that money that was given this year will then be sent out.
Be able to be spent in 3 years. Absolutely. Thank you, Dudley.
Questions? Come on. Joe Goralka in the back.
Oh, no, he can't ask a question. He's got all the answers.
Hi, Vicki. How are you?
Hi, Joe. Thanks for the invitation to be here today.
Thank you for coming. So since we have an RI director in our midst, why don't you tell us a little bit what it's like to be an RI director, or what your duties are, and maybe share some secrets from behind the screen in the room where it happens. Maybe give us a little flavor.
So let me tell you that being an RI director this year is what you're seeing right now. It's all based on Zoom. For the past 2 years, that's how the board has been meeting. And it's partially a blessing, and partially it makes me sad not to be in person with people like with you right now. Our past president, Holger Kanak, was absolutely the right leader at the right time last year. And during the time where we were limited to Zoom, he invited all of the directors-elect and the directors nominee to participate in board meetings. And so what a great learning experience to be able to participate in the board meetings all year last year and be up to speed when July 1st hit this year. So the job of a director it's kind of interesting. They call it a bifurcated role, if I can use that word. Part of it is there are 17 of us from around the world. We are selected from different regions, and meeting as a group, we set policy and guidance for Rotary International as a whole. That's one of our big jobs. And so thinking about transformational issues like how do we elevate the stature of Rotary on a global on the global stage, and especially as we're finishing up polio, what will be the next thing that Rotary is known for? Or are there other ways that we can create awareness and impact of what Rotary is doing on the global stage? On the other side, I work with 30 districts in what's known as the Big West. Our zones 26 and 27 have 30 districts that go as far east as West Texas, all the way to Hawaii and parts of Canada to the north, a little piece of Nebraska, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, all the way to the west, all the way to the ocean. So it's a very large geographic area. It's a fabulous group of Rotarians. We have about 69,000 Rotarians within those 30 districts. And so the other part of my job is supporting them, working directly with your governors-elect and your governor's nominee, and supporting you as members and in your clubs to the best of our ability.
Leanne.
Thank you, Vicki, for coming today. This has been great.
Hi, Leanne. Thanks for the great job you're doing.
Oh, thanks. So I know that Rotary International has made diversity, equity, and inclusion a focus, and I wanted to see if you could speak a little bit about how that's informing the Rotary Foundation's plans and grants.
So that's interesting. I'm not sure I have anything specific about that, Leanne, but the diversity, equity, inclusion is something that we accept as an entire organization with the spirit of being inclusive, welcoming, respecting all people. I don't have a specific example of how that is influencing or impacting our global grants. That's a great question.
So I have a question. Next year will be the first woman international president for Rotary, Jennifer Jones, President Jennifer, Vice President-elect Jennifer. I was in a meeting, a district leadership meeting last night, and I'm going to say all of the women that are going to be presidents next year, and we will have a woman district governor, and our president next year is a woman. What do you, and they were just excited. I mean, it was just bubbling excitement that Jennifer was going to be president. What do you think that's going to be different having a woman president?
Yeah, that's interesting. So first of all, I have to say, I believe that Jennifer Jones was selected because she's a fabulous leader. And that is probably the most important thing to remember as we move forward. Every one of our presidents brings a theme and brings a new spirit each year. That's one of the wonderful things about our organization, isn't it? It's fresh every year, even with your club, with a new club president every year, with a new district governor every year, and with a new Rotary International president every year. I happen to know that Jennifer Jones is a warm and connecting person, and so I think you'll see a lot of that. She is very focused on making sure that our members feel welcome, that our members feel that they belong, and that we are extending inclusivity, diversity, and equity throughout our organization. She also will be using her professional skills. She's a media expert, and I think she's going to be taking it to a new level, the amount of outreach that we have to help other people know more about Rotary. And that's a charge we can take as well, right? To make sure that we're talking to people outside of our organization and letting them know what Rotary is, what we do, why it's so important, and how they might want to participate in our organization. I think you'll see those things from Jennifer: warm connectedness, focus on our members being included and belonging in the organization, and our outreach to let the world know more about us.
Thank you. Allison Bliss, one more question, Allison.
Hi, it's a quick question. Thank you very much for your talk today. It was very inspirational. I'm also a U of U grad. And
yes.
By accident, to be a ski bum, but ended up in school. Yeah. Who is the person that is going to go into Afghanistan and eradicate the wild polio there?
So there are people who are already there. It's the people who are already there, the frontline workers who've already been working on polio eradication. There's a huge commitment to eradicating the disease in Afghanistan. And so they're not people from outside that are going in. It's the Taliban allowing the people who are already in place and respecting those teams that are already in place to be able to do that. And we should all just keep our fingers crossed that it goes really well and that people are safe through that process.
Vicki, thank you so much for being with us today.
Such a pleasure. Thank you.
As you highlighted in your presentation, this year we are highlighting the new Rotary Area Focus, Protecting the Environment. In your honor, we're making a donation to the Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group, SRAG, towards their focus on biodiversity, sustainable living, pollution, the climate, food systems, and circular economy. Thank you so much for making time to be with us today.
That's a perfect gift. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Best wishes.
Michael Bruck.
Thank you, President Dudley. I'm here on behalf of your entertainment committee to invite all of you to the next Cocktails with the President. That would be President Dudley. Thursday, November 18th, 5:30 at the bar at the Moxie Hotel here in downtown Oakland, MOXY. It's in the Oakland Arts and Entertainment District, 2225 Telegraph. That's the corner of Telegraph and West Grand. Come out, check out the new hotel, enjoy some appetizers courtesy of President Dudley. Thank you, Dudley. And help kick off the holiday season with your fellow Rotarians. Thursday, November 18th, 5:30, Moxie Hotel. See you then. Thank you.
Okay, David Stein is pledging $250 to the Rotary Foundation. He's online. Thank you, David. You're going to save me a call. You're on my list for the next 2 days. I'm Renee. Can I go to you next? I'll come back to you, Keith. Renee, could you tell us about next week's speaker, and then I'm going to go to Jason.
Oh, awesome. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians again. Next week, we'll continue the conversation with Oakland Police Chief LaRon Armstrong. He visited us a few months ago, and I know we have many of questions for him. So much is going on in our city, so I welcome you all to come here in person. I believe he's going to be in person, so just looking forward to that. Again, Chief Armstrong will be our guest speaker next week. Thank you.
Fred, can you get a mic to Keith Drone?
President Dudley, I would like to ring the bell for Leanne. She did a marvelous presentation. She's our fearless leader on the ORE, Board of Trustees. And I was amazed at the detail she knew about End Malaria Now. She knows more about the project than I do, and I sponsored it. Wonderful job, Leanne.
Thank you, Keith. For those that are new, a bell ringer is a generous $100 gift to the Oakland Rotary Endowment. Jason Weiselman, you tell us what's coming up this week.
There are so